Violin bass. This is a Hofner from around 1970. The pickup doesn't look that great, but that's not the problem. Well, here we go again. Well, if you've ever watched my channel before, you pretty much know this is par for the course, so stick around. This bass came to me this way. I guess as they were removing the neck, they ran into some problems and it went horribly wrong. I don't know a whole lot about this bass, just jumping on reverb. This one looks pretty similar, same finish. The back's got a similar grain pattern, very similar features, although this one's got a pick guard. I have to check to see if it has a pick guard or not. Yeah, this one actually does have a pick guard. Look at that binding, and the nut looks pretty identical. Well, anyway, this gives you an idea of the potential. Well, first things first, I got to get this heel all glued back together and reattach to the body at the right angle and make sure this bass is ready to play. So let the rebuilding process begin. Probably gonna have to remove some of these splintery pieces here because these have to fit inside this neck, and there's parts sticking out of both ends that don't quite line up. I think it'll just make it a lot easier, especially this one right here. Take that off. It's got these darker pieces of wood which are supposed to fit inside here, and they're just really tight, and it's gonna stop this from going back together. I think this top one here, it's all bent. Let me cut that one out. Here it is. A lot of this end grain here that's all sticking out, that's not really where the support is going to be anyway. Got a nice flat surface here for gluing on top of all this. Maybe I'm better off taking these pieces out because this piece goes on top of it. It seems to go together pretty well. It's going to go like so. Maybe if I take out these little rosewood pieces, perhaps I can get this to go back together. This one right here's got to go. Now let's see how it goes together. I might have to take the other one out as well. Let's try to pare that back a little bit so it can put it together. Well, I mean, what I could do here, these two pieces here, maybe I'll try to cut those right out. Take them out of the equation for now. I can always put them back as fillers. Now this piece here is in the way, this little corner. Just got to cut out all the pieces that's not allowing it to go back together. It's not wanting to go back the way it came out. So let me cut this little nubbin off right here too. There's a lot of little splintery parts right at the bottom here. But now it comes together. Okay, that might be good right there. I got a bunch of filler to add, which is not a big deal. So glue and clamp that there. And then this piece will go like so. There's going to be some finish touch-up to do, obviously. The goal here is to make this playable. Come back together, playable. Obviously was broken. It's going to have some evidence of that. We're not trying to make this disappear. It's going to work out good. Let me get this one glued down first. I don't think anything else is in the way. I think I'm good to put some glue in here and clamp it. A lot of glue squeezing out, so that's good. I'm glad I added that last clamp there. Now it pulls down this corner. Okay, we're gonna let that dry. And once that's dry, then we can add this piece to the equation, and then we can start fitting it into the pocket. So I do have this piece that I can get to fit down in there. I have this little piece that goes right here. All right, now we'll let that dry. So now all the pieces are glued back together, but it's pretty crude, as is the pocket. So this needs to be cleaned up so I can get a nice snug fit. Now that it's all cleaned out, I want to do a preliminary check to see where the movement is. And it's not quite seating properly, so I need to go in and clean out a little bit more material and try to get this to slide in pretty freely. The angle seems to be good, but we're just over the saddle, so I think that is going to be fine. The issue I seem to be having here is the pitch of the neck, meaning, see how it lines up on the treble side? It should be about here, so it's off by about 3/16 of an inch down this side. If I look on the bass side, it's falling off the board. So it's a nice, fairly snug fit in here, but there's a lot of unevenness to the sides and the edge work. So I'm gonna take this out and I'm gonna clean it up a little bit more, put some shims in there and try to get this neck to move, get the body to move that way. So here I'm just putting back some of those pieces that I took off from the heel. And I also noticed that top was lifting, so I'm going to clamp and glue all these in place and leave it to dry, and then I can get back to fitting the neck. The body has to go this way. So we have to remove material from this corner as well as this corner on the inside of this pocket. So I need to remove material from this back side as well as this side over here. Look at how irregular this is, and there's still some glue here. So I'm gonna clean this up and get this nice and flat, and then I'll refit it and see if we have a little play back and forth. But I can shim this and get it to fit right. Now it's got a little bit of play going this way and that way. So let me see, I'll just push on it with my body. Now it looks centered. So this has got to be pushed all the way as far as it'll go. I got enough clearance in here, I just got to put some shims in here so we can hold that position. So what I did is I put 3 pieces of tape on this corner and I put 2 on this corner. Now I'm going to fit this into the body with the tape as just a temporary shim to get an idea for the alignment. So now lining it up, got it right over the pickup, and it's about yay far from the end. Now with the E string coming down to the pickup, it's exactly the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the tape out, and the gap on this is not that great. I mean, it's kind of gappy there, so that has to be tightened up a little bit as far as that. But what I need to do is get some shims glued on to that heel, because the shim stock is about 20 thousandths and 3 pieces of tape is about 15. I'm just going to need to sand it to fit, and then I'll probably have to do sandpaper pulls to get this to line up a little bit better. Okay, I did quite a bit of work on this, just cleaning up all on the inside. I did an undercut all on the inside of this cheek here. So I undercut all that and also did some sandpaper pulls. So now I've got shims on both sides of the heel. I'm going to see how it fits in the body. And I've got this band clamp putting pressure on the heel this way. So just looking at the fit, there is a gap right there. Kind of hard to see it because you got to see through all the calls I have, but it's pretty tight against the body, and it's somewhat tight on this side. I'm going to take the clamp off and figure out why it's not seating all the way into the pocket. I'm not exactly sure why it's not seating, but there is some glue residue back here that could be getting in the way of it seating. Okay, well, I've been monkeying with this thing for quite a while now. Doing sandpaper pulls, carving this heel. I think I finally got it to a point now where I can glue it back. I got the gap pretty tight all the way around. The neck angle looks good. I got a couple of strings on there. Check the alignment. Yep, you can see it's pretty much lined up. It is a floating bridge, so we got a little bit of play there. Got it lined up with the pickup poles. So let's go ahead and glue this puppy up like this. I'm going to clamp it with my band clamp and this clamp pushing down. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry right there. Clean up some of that glue squeeze out. Let this dry overnight or for a couple of days and check back with it. Well, it's basically all done. Don't have those frets. They're gonna take care of that. So that's going to conclude it for my portion of this repair. I hope you liked the video, and if you're still watching, give it a like, and if you're so inclined, hit that subscribe button to watch more guitar restoration and repair videos. Catch you in the next one.